One of the things about people who build up an edifice of pleasing falsehoods to protect themselves is eventually they lose their connection to certain elements of truth. And what we see here is him collapsing into a very familiar logic that happens for many successful black people. It's not that all do this, but there's a real temptation in a highly racist environment to treat achieving black people as exceptions. And exceptions, unfortunately, have a different logic than it often has for many whites who achieve it. For many whites who achieve high success, especially if they come up from modest means, is to say, I individually am special. However, when many blacks come up um, with extraordinary achievement, many unfortunately say, not simply I individually am exceptional, but I individually, in being exceptional, am not like them. And this, of course, plays its way into conservatism. Black conservatives do this a lot, but white conservatives love it. And unfortunately, white liberals love it too. There's this condescending, this view of being able to look at black people and be able to say that they can endow black people with the gift of saying you're not like other black people. It's a special power that is invested in the white world. And you see this when Kanye did these stupid tweets, how Trump gets to play that role by doing the tweet that says, I recognize you as not like the others, you're a smart one, etc. But my response was a little different from many people, mainly because I knew his mother. And so there's a way in which when one responds to a controversy around the child of somebody one respects quite a bit. Um, the thing is, from the moment his mother died, I saw her a few months before she went to LA. I was just wondering how he's going to be dealing with the trauma. And there really has been a different Kanye since then. I know in my own case of tragic loss, it took nearly a decade. So unfortunately, we're witnessing the unraveling of a person who is dealing with public grief. The content of what he's saying strikes me as so blatantly ignorant. It's so stupid that the fact that people are even taking that seriously is very strange. But he is one of the most influential people in the world. And we already know about his narcissism, but it has brought something into his life that a lot of people don't understand. It's not that he is simply a narcissist. Many people become narcissists in an effort to protect themselves. In other words, to give themselves a godlike status. And it's pretty clear that his psychological protection against vulnerability is to push himself to a level of a god. When people hear the word bad, they automatically think collapse into moral judgments. And bad faith is a concept that is not necessarily about being immoral. There are times people have good reasons to be in bad faith. For instance, if you're being tortured, you may, the way to get through it might be to lie to yourself that what's being done is only being done to your body and not to you. But the truth is the torture is torturing you. So what bad faith is basically the human ability to lie to ourselves. And we have the ability to lie to ourselves precisely because we're free beings. And if you think about freedom, you're really free if you are also capable of attempting to evade your freedom. If you're incapable of attempting to evade your freedom, then in fact your life will be overdetermined and you will not be free. So this is one of the paradoxes of human existence. To be free is also to be free to attempt not to be free. The prime examples of lying to the self is to convince ourselves that we're not human beings, we're gods. And myth, human experience, history is full of people who lie to themselves that they're greater than human, that they're gods. And already hearing this, you think of Trump and you think Kanye West. The problem is they use the word freedom, but they have no idea what they're talking about there. What they want is license. They want absolute power. You see, with license, you have liberty, absolute liberty. If you think about the implications of absolute liberty or license, it means you can do anything you want without accountability. If you kill people, you're not accountable. You know, Trump boasted that he could shoot someone in broad daylight in mid-Manhattan, and he'll be fine. That is license. That, you see, because ultimately a God can do whatever a God wants. When you're free, you're accountable. And what those individuals, they don't want freedom. They want liberty. They want the license to do what they want without accountability. In other words, they want liberty without freedom.